What if there was a safe space for you to explore artificial intelligence? What if there was a team of friendly professionals waiting to help you examine what you can do with AI in your courses? Welcome to the world of what if.
Welcome to today's Playground. My name is Priscilla, and I'm one of the multimedia specialists here at the Center for Online and Continuing Education. And today we're going to be exploring how to turn complex concepts, written materials into visual learning content with Napkin AI. So for today's agenda, we're going to be first discussing why are visuals important, some common challenges that instructors may face or hesitations that they have with creating the visuals. Then we're going to be going into the demo for Napkin AI as the tool. And then we'll be going through some classroom applications that instructors and students can use as well. So why transform text into visuals? From my own experience as a student and as a lifelong learner, whenever I had to learn from presentations that had lots of text or lecture guides that were filled with bullet points, it was a lot harder for me to retain the information if I didn't have like a guiding visual alongside that. It was harder for me to identify the main ideas or understand how the concepts connected. And those experiences are one of the reasons why I think visual communication or visuals in general are really important for students to understand and really grasp those concepts. Some other key points are that it helps learners process this information. The visuals are like a key tool for really identifying the information and organizing it in a way that it makes sense to them. It also simplifies the complex concepts. So once it's broken down, students can really like pinpoint one idea that will help them materialize the information. It reduces text-heavy presentations. So on a PowerPoint that has a lot of text, a lot of information, these visuals really help to break down that concepts and break down the material into pieces that are more informative and help them understand the relationships between the concepts. It also improves engagement and retention. There was a study done by Dr. John Medina in his book, Brain Rules, and he found that 10% of information is recalled when only auditory information is presented after 3 days. In the same amount of time, 65% of that information is more remembered when a relevant visual was included. So having those visuals really helps people to materialize that information into their brain. And also it helps support different learning preferences. So everyone learns at a different pace and uses different materials to learn. And having these visuals helps in finding different ways for them to remember the information. Along with that, these are some common challenges that occur when instructors or people are trying to create designs. Some instructors may find that they don't have that much time to create instructional visuals. They have lots of responsibilities, lots of things on their plate, and it's not enough time to create something that works for every student. Some instructors may face that they have little or no graphic design experience. It might be going beyond the area of expertise, having to learn what works with what visuals help with what, can sometimes complicate it. And that's just another obstacle that they may face when creating these designs. Another challenge that they may face is difficulty turning concepts into clear visuals. So you may have the information ready, but you may not know how to organize it in a way that would make sense for students that learn in different ways. Another challenge that may arise is limited access to design tools or resources. You may not have an access to a tool that helps you design or teaches you how to design. So that's where a tool like Napkin AI is actually really useful because it shortens that time, shortens that experience for you to be able to create visuals and without having to reduce the time you spend making your content. So what is Napkin AI? Napkin AI is an AI-powered application that converts text into professional-looking visuals. One of the appealing uses is that it's free to use. There are some limitations within the features, and I will be exploring that in depth in a little bit. That being said, to design. It's really accessible and easy to use. There's lots of different visuals and that show you how to change that. And you don't even have to have a background in graphic design to be able to do this. So I will be showing you how to do that in our demo. So some of the steps that I'm going to walk you through, this is also you can find on the website, and I will show you that. But first, we're going to be importing or pasting text. You can also generate visuals and choose which one applies best to your learning needs. You can also polish the design by changing the font size or changing the colors in a way that is useful to you. And then I will be showing you how to export those visuals or those learning materials into your own learning content. So without further ado, let's get into it. So when you first open the website, you're going to see this screen. As I mentioned the steps earlier before, you can scroll down if you ever forget them, and they will be there for you. Just a step-by-step on how to use this site. We can go ahead and sign in. And it automatically signed in, but when it's your first time signing in, you are going to see this screen. So it's going to ask, what do you want to create today, visuals or slides? I haven't personally used the slides portion with this tool, but feel free to use it during playtime or later on. But we are going to dive into the visual side. So you have three options. You can either paste text, paste a simple concept, paste different tools that you would like to use. You can also describe the idea. It's similar to like ChatGPT, where you can prompt it to create a visual based off what you would like to learn. And then you can also import a file. So you can insert your own lecture guides or just notes that you have had on file and that you would want to see come to life. So for this example, I will be importing the file. And I'm going to be using notes from when I studied positive media psychology. To give you a little quick rundown, these notes are based on player avatar identification. It's basically the psychological phenomenon where a player chooses what character or avatar in a video game and how that makes the experience more enhancing for them. And so as you can see on my notes, it's a lot of text. There's bullet points here and there, but it's just in general a lot of information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight a portion where I want to see it come into a visual. So I'm going to highlight this text, which is the 5 major identification processes, which is physical similarity, embodiment, value homophily, perspective taking, and wishful identification. So then on the left side, you can click on the lightning bolt, and it is going to generate a visual based off the text that you highlighted. So as you can see, it quickly created this graphic for me. And it even included a description of based off what everything is. I only highlighted this text. I didn't give it definitions for which one it is. So I think that it's like a really cool tool if you didn't have that information beforehand. If you are a student and you are just taking notes and you only have the main concepts, once you plug it in, it will actually help you out and give you those definitions. On the left-hand side is where you're gonna find like all the different types of visuals that you can use. There are many more, and if you don't like any of them, they will keep regenerating until you find one that you like. For the sake of this demo, I will choose this graphic that I really like. And then once you click on it, it will actually it'll show you different options of backgrounds. So if you are someone who likes a lighter screen with like the text to be darker, you can choose that. Or if you prefer more of a dark mode version, you can choose that as well based on your own needs when learning. I personally prefer to use the dark mode, so I will be using that one today. And then one of the cool tools that you see on here is that you can actually design and change the colors. So you can click on the text that you would like, and you go to colors, and you click on the one that it is currently. So I want the blue to change to, let's say, pink, and it will change it for you. So it's not like ChatGPT or Gemini where you have to keep generating it to get it to change the design that you want. Another cool thing about this tool is that, as information changes, the theories change, something changes, something is taken out. In the graphic itself, you can remove it. You go to the subtraction tool and hit apply, and it will remove it for you. So you don't have to keep generating and hoping that it will remove it and formulate and organize it in a way that you need. Again, also, the cool thing about this is as well is that you can change the text. So let's say the definition of embodiment changes. You can edit the text on the actual visual itself, and it won't affect it for you. The quality won't change. Once again, it's different from ChatGPT and Gemini, where you don't have to keep regenerating it and changing it in that way. You can also change the icon. So you can generate it. If that doesn't suit you, you can change it to a different icon that makes more sense to what your learning needs and what you would like to learn. Again, for color, if you want to learn how to, choose a color for your class, or you want to learn a little bit more about how to design for presentations, we actually had a Playground presentation on that, and you can find that on our Playground playlist. I will be linking it at the end, but one of our multimedia producers, she was talking about it and using AI, how to choose colors for your courses, and that is like a helpful tool for you to use when creating these visuals. Additionally, you can, if you change your mind about the design, like let's say like you started working on it and you decided like this isn't really benefiting me, I want to change the layout, you can go to the right side and go to swap layout. And then here, different other tools, other visuals will pop up. And then you can choose which one, makes more sense, which one applies more and helps you more in what you want to express, what you want to learn, how you want to learn it. It's just a really cool tool to learn that way. One of the other really cool resources about this tool is if your first language isn't English, this program offers many other languages to you. You can go into the settings wheel, and then you go generate visuals in. And there are lots of different languages available to you. I'm not specifically sure onto how many, but you can feel free to like explore and see where maybe your native language or a target language that you would like to learn is. So for the sake of today, I will choose Spanish. And then you can just highlight the text that you want to learn and generate the visuals in that as well. And it'll come out in the language that you desire. So it comes out like this. And once again, you have the option to choose different resources. And again, it will spit out the information descriptions for you to use. So for the sake of today, I will be using the same one from before. Now this one is a little bit shorter, but it follows the same design as previous. So if you want to maintain that consistency, you can use the same one, or you can feel free to change it however you like. And then now I'm going to be showing you how to export it. You can go down to this down button and you click export visual, and then you're going to see a couple of options pop up. First, you'll see PNG, SVG, PDF, or PPT. It's up to you how you want to use this tool. For today, I'm going to be using it as a PNG. You're also going to see the napkin logo, and it says on or off. Because this is the free version, these are some of the limitations I was mentioning before. You're going to see that watermark logo on there, but you can always crop it out on your own main desktop, as well as the background. So you have the option of turning it on or off. If you turn it on, that background in the back will appear. If you had chosen a white background, the white background will appear. But if you press off, it'll be a clear visual for you to paste into your PowerPoints. And then one of the most important things is the resolution. If you want to download it at a really high quality, I recommend using the 3x, and it'll be good for importing into any documents or into any presentations that you need. So I'm going to go ahead and press download. I'm going to come here. And then as you can see, it pops up here. And then depending on which source you use, you can crop it to get rid of the watermark. If you don't want the text, you can minimize it like that. And then just like that, you have a clear visual for you to use in a presentation or in any notes, any documents that you would like to use it in. And then another cool thing is that you can actually download it. If you're using it as like a study guide, you can download the entire file with all of the visuals there by going to the napkin logo, clicking the 3 buttons on the left, and then clicking export PDF. So same thing, watermark logo will be appearing on there. You can change it to light or dark mode. I'm gonna download it in the single continuous page, but you also have options for other things as well. Like if you had done the PowerPoint presentation, you can download it as a presentation. So I'm gonna press download, and now it'll load. And so this tool is just really good because it saves time when creating visuals. It helps you give you ideas if you wanted to create one on your own and you didn't know how to make these concepts work together. That is one of the really cool tools about this AI tool. So I downloaded it and this is what comes out. It's still my same notes, but it now has the visual that I had selected beforehand and they're all there available. And I think that that's just a really useful tool for people to use. And then, so yeah, you don't need any design experience for it. And it's just easy to generate different visuals. Going back to the presentation. But if this tool is something that doesn't necessarily resonate with you in the sense of you still don't have the time to create these visuals or you still didn't really resonate with it in that way, this is still a tool that you can provide to students or anyone that wants to learn something in a different way, any way to visualize it in a different context. And I will be exploring some more ways to do that. So these are some 6 ways to use it, either for teaching or for learning. You can create it as a summary. You can simplify textbook chapters into clear visual overviews. You can also use it to turn your research notes into structured concept maps. You can also transform text-heavy lecture material into visual study guides. You can also use it for science, explaining those processes, the cycles and reactions visually. You can also turn it into organize historical events into readable timelines. And then you can also use it as a workflow and visualize like business processes and decision trees and any other ways that you either want to teach it or you want to learn it. Because as I mentioned before, like you can use it for different languages. So if you are teaching something and you want to help another student, maybe that doesn't speak English, you can use that information and generate into a visual that helps someone of a different language. And there's just so many ways to visualize and use it. I only explored importing it through PDF, but you can create your own prompts and see how it generates visuals for you. And so these are just some helpful links that I have included in my PowerPoint. The first one is Napkin AI. That is literally the website for the tool. You just have to put in napkin.ai and that will pop up for you. The second link that I have included is Playground Friday Teaching AI to Design. This is the playground that we had done before that I mentioned earlier, where it helps you learn how to choose colors for your presentation and how to design instructional material for students visually. The third link is Tech Events Calendar. You can use that to see all of our future Playground events. And you can contact us as well at playground@fau.edu. You can also see all of our past playgrounds through that same link of Playground Friday if you are curious to learn more about what we do here.